nothing is redemptive outside of the grace of God, and that the love of God is also the grace of God. But the Christian life itself is like a pilgrimage. What John Bunyan did was, he found himself under great pain and suffering, and he was a Christian, and he didn't know how to live the Christian life. And then he decided he would go on a journey. He got a glimpse of a light far away. Because you would find that in the Bible, you find it in Abraham. Abraham is the model of the believer's life. He's the founder of our faith. And he also didn't find grace, but he utilized grace. So faith and grace is the way to God. It's the Christian life. So Abraham then is the father of our biblical faith as we understand it. Now, it also says about Noah, that Noah found grace in our Lord. So God has always been saving by his grace. We cannot save ourselves. One of the things you're going to get to here tonight is that my latest book, One Blood, is going to lean heavily to the Christianity we have now is by our own good works. You don't come close to it tonight. And we're going to be telling people what to do. And if they do that, if we do that and do that, but Christianity is by grace, and we'll talk a little bit about that. How you find grace in the eyes of the Lord, how you find faith. And racial reconciliation was made in the devil's den in hell. You can never come up with an error that people practice. And it's a slave master. We won't get there. We can fight over it every 50 years, we're back to where we started. So it's not working. It's not working because there's only one human race.
Yeah.
There's only one God. There's one mediator between God and man. And he created mankind to reflect him in the world. We don't know what the image and likeness is. We done determined that black is bad and white is superior. And we function out of that culture. We don't function out of the fact that God created mankind to reflect him in the world. It's too plain almost for you to miss it. That's why I said the devil had to make it.
Yeah.
So the Christian life, let me go ahead. So the Christian life is a pilgrimage. And John Bunyan put a big tackle on burden. And we are born with a burden because of Adam. We got a burden. We got to take that burden eventually to God. God got to call us to him with that burden. And he's going to give us the desire to get rid of that burden. And I suspect that we're trying to get rid of that burden by faith and by going to this light. So the light is, and that's where we're going. Because I got the light from Hebrews, the idea that that city not made with hand, eternal in the heaven. That's all the way Hebrews. And Hebrews is very easy on that pilgrimage too, in terms of faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. For him that comes to God must believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of them that will seek him. And so John Bunyan, with his burden, and then he heard idea, this is important in your Christian life. I'm giving you last stuff. And this is what's in One Blood. messed up. Boy, he's burdened, he's stuck here on earth, and because this city is going to be destroyed. And he just wept. You're leaving one city, going to the city that had foundation, whose building make it's a light on the hill. Ronald Reagan coined that. That's a good one. A light on the hill. He coined America like to be the light on the hill. He used his conservative stuff to really do that. He was a great communicator. You understand? Found some faith, but faith was bogged down in the culture that we have now. We are bogged down in a racial culture in our society. We're going to talk about it. It's such an error. Science then got rid of it. National Geographic says that all human being is made out of whatever the stuff. It's only 1% of it. 1% of it is different. That we are really actually one. And Jesus want to go back to that oneness, but in the Garden of Eden, that oneness was broken.
Right.
We broke a relationship with God and a relationship with each other. We broke that relationship by our own sin. Now we blame somebody else for our sin. I bet I make your sin worse than mine. And then I may be better than you. And if I can get the economics together, I will define you as a black, African, nigger, or something other, and we'll rule you because we will get you to believe that too. Boy, you really got a mess when somebody else got a lie and you believe the lie yourself. And it's about you. Man, you got people, you got a recipe for genocide.
Right.
You got a recipe for genocide, trying to get out of that stuff. You feel trapped. That's what we're on our way to in America. We're on our way to genocide if we keep going with the theology we have. I'm going to give you the theology, and it's in this book, One Blood. One Blood. And so, let me set the scene. So he goes out. He said, this city is going to be destroyed, and he's looking for that city, that light on the hill, and he got to follow that light. That's all through the Bible. If you walk in the light, as he's in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Jesus Christ, God's Son, cleanses us from all sin. And it's that fellowship together. It's that fellowship together across so-called, it's only one race, it's culture barriers. And we done turned those into races. And we're lying because of one human race. He redeemed us back to our oneness, that you might be one. He's broken down the wall of partition, that we might be one. There's one God, there's one mediator between God and man. And he created, when we meet God in the scripture, listen to what he said. I am the Lord thy God and one. I created man in my image and in my likeness to represent me. Make no other God before me. You know what we done decided? We done decided we all are God. And that's what sin is made up out of. Listen, wait a minute, listen. Sin is your own self-activation. It was made like this. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. James said, we sin. Where do sin, trouble, and evil, where it come from? It said it come from within. Right. You asthma, you kill and desire to have. You desire to have it to be, so we don't like being equal. We was created equal. We don't like being equal. That's the difference with Jesus. He liked being equal. But he gave up his equality, you might say, to come down here and live among us. He counted not robbery to be equal with God. We was created equal. Sin broke, and when Eve got that, she saw it was good. The lust of the flesh. She said, desire to make one wise. So you go through those temptations. Jesus had those same temptations. He overcame them. Turn this stone into bread. Jump down from this building here, and your angel will kick you out. So it's that's what sin is at. Sin is self. Sin is us And what we've done today in our society, we have wrapped around ourselves with ourselves, and now we're wrapped around it with all our political and social ideology, even our religion, thinking that's going to redeem us.
Right.
That's going to redeem us.
Right.
Only one thing can wash away your sin, nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
And so we got to tell the black people, we asking questions that will never, from God's perspective to us, it's insane. It's heathen. Does life matter? Does black life matter? And what blacks are saying, does our life matter as much as white folks? And white folks say, hell no, it don't matter. That's a radical group. That's a radical group. And so it's creating more radicalism in our side. And we fight to win. We fight nothing. We fight the myth. We fight that we was created better than somebody else. And it said we was created equal in his image. And that's why he came. And he came, get this one down. Get it down. He came to get rid of our self-sin.
Right.
A self-made sin.
Right.
We sin when we turn away with our own desire and enticement. Now what we do is make one sin worse than another. And then we color code it. We color code it. Whatever color we want to make it. Nothing is better than white in our society. Now you say that sounds bad. That sounds bad for white people. It do sound bad. If we had economic wherewithal, we'd do white folks the same way they do us. It ain't no different. We all have sinned the sin, and we all have come short of the glory of God.
Right.
There is none of us good enough, no, not one. We all like sheep have gone astray. And all we're going to do now is sit and talk about that. Get up and talk about it. And find ways and words to make each other. It only depends who controls the economy. It only depends, and see, we think we own it. Right. The biblical thought is the earth is the Lord, and the fullness thereof, and all that throughout the end. The silver, the gold, all of this stuff is mine. And he wants this stuff distributed in some way through our own labor and activation. You start giving them everything, you ain't know what we got. Yeah. And white folk gonna feel superior, and we're gonna feel inferior. And they're talking about another name for us. We're called the human race minority. It's something wrong with minority. It's something wrong with it. It means the majority is ruling. And it's something wrong with minority. And a black person can cut his lawn. If a black person can pick up his paper, don't put his cars on the parking on the lawn and all that, they'll be good enough to be white. But it'll be an honorary. In fact, it will be like we're gonna integrate. And integrate is that period between the first black moving in and the last white moving out. That's what we call integration. We done hacked that one. It done failed. Right. We got another one going now. We call it gentrification. Yeah. We're going to find some way to make that's wrong. There's going to be a pushback. You're putting poor people out. Then more jobs going to be created. The restaurants going to be there. Downtown is going to be busting and going. It's going to be safe down there and all that. And here we is fighting. See, we're all like, she have gone astray.
Yeah, that's right.
My problem, name of my problem is John Perkins. It's me. Yeah. It's me. It's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. It's not my mother, not my father, not my sister, not my brother, but it's me. That's what said. You will stand one day. I want to tell you that before the judgment seat of Christ.
Yeah.
To give an account of this good life. And Jesus said, I gave y'all one life. I have come that you might have one good life, right, and that you might have more abundantly. Right. And the way that you are accessing that life, and you can see it, is when you're loving each other. But this may or may never be my disciple,
Right.
because you have a loved one.